G-plates is tough to get working, my guy. And I'm the guy who figured out Lexergy. I am a guy who figured out Lexergy, and I think G-plates is confusing. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to another stream adaptation to video. Today, we're gonna be doing world building. I don't have very much figured out yet. I know that there is going to be a binary star system and 8 moons, compliments of our good friend Majahadra. Other than that, I have like a vague idea of what I want. Call this personal bias. But generally when I build a culture or do world building, the culture ends up being some sort of like analog to Vikings. Or correction, Norse. The Norse peoples. So I want to see how I can subvert that without being too out there. Okay. So let me start from what I want to have finished. Mitsu, make analog to target culture. Make them nomads. I don't know very much about nomadic life. I'm aware that Mongolians were nomadic. Also, the fact that they rode reindeer instead of horses. What? They just straight up rode reindeer. Here's a related story. When I was in high school, we had to write a story about what it might look like to be a steppe-dwelling nomad. And believe you me, the Mongolian tribes riding down on reindeer was 100% a part of the story. It was like the inciting incident. I just love that idea of reindeer instead of horses. So since I don't know all that much about nomadic cultures, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have them go between 2 or 3 spots. So they would use some sort of tool for navigation that would take them to one point for one time of the year, another point for another time of the year, and another point for another time of the year. Or like, I don't know, like for one growing season they would live in one place while this crop grew, and then they would plant here, go here while this crop grew, and then go back here. Now they have crops here, and then once those run out, they can move to the other place. Well, once those run out, they can plant more, move to another area. Okay, so our 3 main. I'm just gonna go with Demel. I'm just gonna say that's their name because that's the word for person in Alfugitri. Settlements. Do we want them to be around the hottest part of the world, or do we want them to be around a cooler part of the world? Because that will drastically change like what crops they can grow. Can they grow crops? What fauna they'd be subjected to. Do we want them closer to the equator, or do we want them farther away from the equator? I am also thinking that there would be seasons, so I might go a little bit like Earth's axial tilt, but not exactly. I don't know. Where do we want these guys? We can put them anywhere, and in fact, we can put them in vastly different places if they tame horses. Or if they tame some beast of burden for riding. They have reindeer. Well, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna... Because those were the Mongols. Like, real world Mongols. They rode reindeer. Which, so cool. It's so cool. I mean, I get, so... I don't know. Or boats. Ship. Good idea. So they could become. So let's say there's like just a central river or a river that they can. Desert reindeer. No, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about reindeer in our world. In our world, reindeer are the way they are because they live in northern climates. So their antlers are used for combat and attracting mates. And they can afford to do combat because they are in a northern climate and they wouldn't dehydrate or they wouldn't run out of water very quickly. In a desert, I can't quite imagine that reindeer would exist in any similar capacity because of their combative nature. But I do like the idea of using a river to get between. I don't think camels fight, Ship. I don't think camels fight. Camels with antlers! I mean, fair. So, instead of reindeer, they're rain camels. Hold up. Where? Wait. Hold up, Majahadra. Are you talking like in the real world, or are you in the real world? Are you talking on Earth, or about the rain antlers? Rain antlers! Rain camels. Yeah, Ship, they do have better things to do. You know, like not die in the heat. I think that is the main reason why especially mammals don't fight in the desert. If they have some sort of water source, stuff like hippos and elephants, I could imagine like hippos and elephants on Earth having like a very near water source. Then they can get territorial because they can afford to expend the energy. Could be a vestigial trait. Okay. So, okay, hold up. Rain camels. The rain camels are predators of desert jaguars and desert crocs. So we have an apex predator on our hands in the form of a camel. Do I hear megafauna? Do I hear a megafauna? Either that, or these desert crocodiles and desert jaguars could be like tiny. Like the desert jaguars could be more like the size of bobcats. It just doesn't work. Oh, you don't. Oh, you can't domesticate apex predators. That's fair. That's fair. There are people who have tried. Okay, so rain camels aren't the apex predator because they have to be a sort of. I have that settled in my head. They're not domesticated, they are feared. Maybe they're like elephants. Oh, hello, MMC World Building. We are trying to figure out how camels might have antlers. And why they might be megafauna. So, explain to me, Ship, the dynamic of elephants in this sort of deal. Because I'm intrigued. I'm aware, tamed but not domesticated. Yes. Okay, so rain camels. I just love the name. So do we want to place this desert settlement by a river? Do we want to place it near the river, or do we want to place it like near an ocean, where like a very salty ocean, where we might expect to catch fish as the main source of food? And I say desert very loosely. Elephants will not reproduce at a high enough rate in captivity. Interesting. Okay, so I say desert very loosely, and just because it's by an ocean doesn't necessarily mean, or a river, doesn't necessarily mean that it will have high rainfall. Look at Egypt. So they tend to be left feral to breed and then captured and tamed young. That's... Okay, so we're just stealing the idea of elephants. Elephants, but not. Yeah, so do we want this desert settlement? I like that they could boat downstream in the winter to escape the cold and ride the beast back north to their summer homes when they have spent the southern land's resources. No, Ship, I love that, actually. I love that idea of rain camels being elephants, but not. That is fantastic. The rain camels, tamed, not domesticated, megafauna of the... Yeah, let's do just two. Two settlements. Majahadra. Elephants, but not. They're still camels. But megafauna of the southern settlement, featuring long, multi-pronged ReignCamElephants, ReignCamElephants, like that. Featuring long, multi-pronged horns, sporting a pair of long, multi-pronged antlers, a vestigial trait from a possible plains-dwelling ancestor. Okay, so they are the land apex predators. So, if we say that they're antlers, why would they fall off? Why would they shed? I mean, it's a good idea. Again, there can be a whole lot of world building from it. But why would they fall off? Because I don't feel like just mating season is enough. You know? I don't think just it's not mating season is enough to justify them falling off. Same way some lizards shed their tail to evade predators. Majahadra. So So, I I just had the greatest idea. I just had the funniest idea of like a just one of these megafaunas. Whenever they feel threatened, their antlers just fall off. like a vestige. Okay, let me explain my reasoning there, because that's just kind of abstract, an abstract reason. So let's say a vestigial plane, or the antlers are a vestigial trait from a possible plains dwelling ancestor, right? Those ancestors would probably fight, and say they fought and their antlers got stuck together, so they developed an ability to just shed their antlers. And then they developed an ability to shed their antlers so that once they're interlocked and caught, they can still escape. And that eventually just turns into, I'm feeling threatened. But I do like the heat management thing. So like during the dry season, the antlers could shed for heat management. Yeah, they just pop off. Just I like the idea that they're expelled. It's not just like no, just that could be dangerous. That could be freaking antler missiles. Antlers have blood vessels? Antlers have blood vessels? Okay. So not during the dry season, but we could say that during the wet season or the rainy season, that's what it's called, the rainy season. They could pop off because it's not necessary. Because they aren't necessary for heat management. Bone, cartilage, fibrous tissue, skin, nerves, and blood vessels. Wow. That's insane. I didn't know that. Really? Insane. That stuff is insane. Yes, a desert savanna area. The Sahel? Sahel? What are we talking about? What is the Sahel? Or the Sahel, or the whatever it is. That's the bit of Africa between the Sahara Desert and the Savannah. I'll have to look at that. That's interesting. Antlers help collect water from desert fogs. So we could say they grow like spiky. So hear me out. Let's say that these megafauna, these apex predators, have a symbiotic relationship with itty bitty creatures, kind of like sharks and crocodiles. These antlers grew like spiky sort of deals, like not sharp spines, but like dull protrusions that collect water from desert fogs that some itty bitty carnivore could consume while living on the back of this megafauna. Cleaning up, eating bugs. Like, kind of like, I don't know if y'all know Subnautica, but kind of like the reefback. Yeah, we could do desert birds, but the reefback in Subnautica, it's literally just a big old thing with just a coral reef growing on its back. We could do little desert birds. Okay, hold up. This is so cool. So, yeah, just carrying a pack of sparrows around. We can break desert birds into like large and small. And we can give like the ones that live on the rain camels, we can give them a name like related to the rain camels. So maybe we could call them camelbacks. Yes, small specific species of bird is adapted for it particularly, which is why I think that those spines could collect water. That like they could grow to collect water or evolve to collect water because these birds are like living off of it. Imagine camel antler sweat being a fought over niche. That's the thing though. It could be. I also think that would be interesting. So, given the idea that these rain camels would be used as transportation, since they're megafauna, I think it would be very impractical for them to be ridden like horses. I think it would be more likely that they're like hooked up to carts or chariots used as an engine. And I can imagine that these birds could very quickly become pets. Like analogs for dogs and cats on Earth. Or they have like a big seat on them. I don't know. Like the fancy elephant seats. I don't know. More like a bus you can't control. You just get on and are at the mercy of the beast's whim. I was hoping for London, but ended up in Oxford. Nice, love that. Hello, Sawton. We have ReignCamElephants. Reindeer camel elephants. Alright. On that note, if you want to watch more speculation on what things might be in this world, you're just gonna have to catch the next video. Yeah, I hope to see you back here. Alright,